Nobody that's a leader would not do what I did. And I know there's a risk, there's a danger, but that's okay. I just left Walter Reed Medical Center. And I learned so much in coronavirus. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the best medical equipment. Don't be afraid of it. Felt great, like better than I have in a long time. Don't be afraid of it. I didn't feel so good. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the coronavirus. Don't be afraid of it. And now I'm better, and maybe I'm immune. I don't know. Be afraid of it. Don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives. Be afraid of it. Don't let that happen. We're the greatest country in the world. Be afraid of it. As your leader, I had to do that. I knew there's danger to it, but I had to do it. But don't let it dominate your lives. Get out there. Be careful. We have the best medicines in the world, and they're all happening very shortly, and they're all getting approved, and the vaccines are coming momentarily.
All right, everybody. What a day. What a day. We don't have any more time for that. The rare evening stream. We are standing by for Donald Trump's third rally of the day, this one in Omaha, Nebraska. And this is just, I'm no political strategist, but if a Republican is in Nebraska 7 days before an election, my instinct is things aren't going so well. You guys, I'm sure, know much more than I do. But if in my mind, if things are going well for a Republican candidate, an incumbent president, no doubt, I don't imagine them in Omaha 7 days before the election. It is it must be 6:41 p.m. in Omaha. Is Omaha 1 hour behind East Coast or 2? It's either 7:41 or 6. I think it's 7:41 there. So it is nighttime, and we are awaiting the arrival of Donald Trump. Nothing more fun than being crammed together during a global 100-year pandemic in the dark, waiting for Trump to show up and say things like, "Suburban women must love me," or something like that. So I have a lot of different things to go over with you guys today. I have memes, I have messages, I have polling, I have tweets, I have COVID numbers. I almost said Corvid. COVID numbers. What else do I have? And I also have, I guess, the update that Trump is running very, very late. So we may have time. And by the way, I will say now, people seem to have been liking me not doing the entire Trump rally. We just sort of take a temperature of how insane it is and how few masks there are and how slurry and orange Donald Trump is. And then sometimes we bail. Since it's the rare nighttime stream, I was actually thinking we may open up the phone lines during the rally. Once we get bored of the rally, maybe if we get a goal, maybe I'll go right now to our Listen, we put up 25 as the goal, just as a sort of, just to tease people. Really, the goal is 50. I'll just put up 50, and if we get to 50, we'll just go to some Discord calls, even while Donald Trump is speaking, after we get a sense of what Donald Trump is going to say. I think it'll be an interesting thing. Do you guys hear that? What on earth is going on? Oh, hold on a second. Let me just take a phone call, guys. Hold on. That was not Discord. That was not, I know what that is. Okay. So in fact, let me just, I'm going to mute. There's a particular, I see what's going on. People were calling our voicemail, and I have the voicemail page open. because there was a voicemail I wanted to play for you guys in a little bit. So needless to say, I will just open the phone lines, I think, if things go well and we kind of get bored with the Trump rally. Okay, before we go anywhere, let me get caught up on all the messages people have. Oh, actually, before we even get into messages, as some of you know, I'm now on Cameo. And one of the things on Cameo is you can pay to send me a message. And I've never been trolled on Cameo, but I got one today where some guy spent $5 to say, "Hello, donkey. I just found your YouTube the other day, and I got to say I fundamentally disagree with you on many different things relating to Trump but free speech, period." So understand that. Relating to Trump but free speech, period. Question: how will you react if Trump wins over Biden? YouTube rage, tears. I hope that was worth $5 to this gentleman. And I use the term gentleman very, very loosely. Okay, let me go through what folks are saying over on Twitch. Deeper Shades of House says, thanks for the live stream. And C-Dubs says, woohoo, 2 months on Twitch. Love the show, David. Thanks for being a sobering voice in unprecedented times. I appreciate that. Thank you. Over on YouTube, a lot of messages coming in. Dr. Chakoseki, radiologist, says, so David, I think I may need a Pacman-sponsored lobotomy. My puny liberal brain can't handle the shock of ACB's confirmation. Mercy ban my brain. I actually don't think we should refer to her as ACB. ACB is sort of like RBG, AOC. It's just, I think we should call her Amy Looney Barrett. That should just be, or Amy COVID Barrett. I don't like the idea of a 3-letter abbreviation for someone who really doesn't deserve it. Okay, so I'm not going to be doing that. JR says, David, I sent you the new theme song I made a few days ago with a full band. Did you get it? I just voted 2 days ago in Portland, Oregon. I did get it. I'm just so behind on everything right now because it is election down to the last 7 days. Wendy says $7,000 a year gets you this type of hair. I guess referring to our thumbnail with Trump's wild hair. It's actually $70,000 a year that Trump wrote off for hair styling. Azim Abu Khalil says if Democrats attain a House Senate majority, would impeaching or replacing a judge be less risky than expanding the court? It may be less risky, but it would be less likely. Tomorrow on the show, I am going to have an extremely powerful segment where I will actually go full bore in favor of expanding the court. I'm ready to do it. And tomorrow on the show, I will have a segment where it's going to be extremely powerful. And I've been considering it really strongly for a while. Tomorrow, I am going fully in on expanding the court. I'm going to give you my reason why. I am going to disabuse you of the false notion that it would lead to some kind of slippery slope where every president will then add 5 seats to the court. No. Okay, you understand. Let's continue. Azim also coming in with, is Trump using the Supreme Court to steal the election a foregone conclusion? It's not a foregone conclusion, but it's a possibility. Steven says, hi from Poland. We're demonstrating on the streets against the anti-abortion law passed by Poland's Supreme Court. Is this the USA's future as well? In Poland, by activism, we will stop this. Will you? I think we may see, depending on the outcome of the election, I think we may see some of the biggest protest. I think what we will see if Trump steals the election with the court, Occupy Wall Street will be nothing. The climate protests will be nothing. The Women's March will be nothing. The George Floyd protests will be nothing if indeed this is stolen by the court. May not change anything, but I do think it's going to be absolutely crazy. Ant and Sharon say, hey, David, isn't this Trump's third rally today? He's infecting the masses, blessing. Yeah, speaking of which, let me get to that now. So yesterday, Donald Trump had 3 rallies, one of which was in a place in Pennsylvania spelled Lititz. And on today's show, I know it's not pronounced Lititz, but I pronounced it Lititz a few times, and I got some of the funniest emails Let me show these to you. This is so. I actually have a bunch of things to show. I put it up on a Word doc just because I didn't know how else to show it. John said, David, it's not Lititz. I loved it, but it's pronounced Lititz. I love your show and help support you giving the truth. Rose also saying, David, love your show. It's pronounced Lititz, not Lititz. I know, guys. I know. And then also, if you missed yesterday's stream, extremely powerful numbers from last week's debate. This is from my YouTube rep. Live views, 317,000. Peak concurrent, almost 57,000. This was our record. Watch time off the charts. You led, this is our stream last week. You led left of center political publishers. You were in the top 20 streams for last night's debate. Hell yeah. I think you're actually at 15 or 16. You actually edged NBC News on peak concurrent viewers, but they beat you on live views. Kudos on a great live stream. Can you imagine our little YouTube channel last week, the top independent left-wing media stream of all YouTube, and 15th or 16th, including corporate media, putting us extremely strongly in position for election night, I guess I would say. Unknown Prodigy says David Pakman is a late a male. Chakaseki says Deepak loves Total Recall, therefore is a Quaid a male. Oh, God. Not so sure about this, guys. Cameo Kid says, so powerfully, fashionably late, Mr. David Pakman. And Cameron says, hey, David, can you do a piece to speak to the motives of Vernon Jones? Australia is with you. All right, I'll look into that. So I correct me if I'm wrong. Is Trump arriving by chopper, meaning that we're just seeing the first of probably 4 helicopters arrive? Can anybody confirm that? I'm having a hard time telling what's going on because the COVID is blocking my view. It's just there's too much COVID. I can't clearly see what's happening. Anybody know? Choppers? Let's listen. Okay, yeah, that's not good. All right, very good. So that is that. All right, as far as okay, people joining and asking about phone lines. Yeah, I may open phone lines tonight. If we get to 50 website members and patrons, I'll even take some calls towards the end of the rally. I don't think we need to watch the full rally. But please consider grabbing a membership at joinpacman.com or making a pledge at patreon.com/David Pakman Show. We will start to fill up this blue bar beautifully. It's a beautiful shade of blue. I think you'll love it when you see it. And yes, the goal today is opening up phone lines. And as a reminder, we now take calls via Discord, which you can find at davidpakman.com/Discord. That's DISCORD, which is, it's working really well. I think we've got about 3,500 people already on our Discord, which is great. It's working really, really great. All right, let's keep it going. Tiamat says, I miss the music. Let me guess, Lee Greenwood. Not sure I know what you mean, but yes. What do we have here? Looks like the chopper, right, guys? Am I wrong? Maybe it is. Oh, no, I guess it is a plane. Yeah, I can't. Oh, it is a plane. Oh, it is a plane. All right. Wendy says, why does Trump slur his words? It makes me think he's been drinking. Trump doesn't drink as far as we know, but that's a real question. A lot of people wonder about that. Quincy says, from Oklahoma, I support Biden, but so many people here support Trump because Biden will take away oil field jobs. Brainwash, counter-argument ideas. Yes, replacing dirty energy with clean energy will create far more jobs than it destroys. That's really the argument. That's the argument. There's no, period, full stop. Okay, I do have another voicemail. I was holding on to this for you guys. When we talk about the importance of supporting independent media, if you're progressive, I suggest supporting progressive independent media, but whatever. Here's a little bit of insight into what we're fighting every day, okay? I had voicemails from this guy for you guys yesterday. Here is another voicemail that came in today. Full warning, get the kids out of the room, get the kids out of the room. This is not for children. This is not child safe, okay? Take a listen to this. No, hold on. Oh, I muted because calls were coming in. Here we go. Off we go. And from the top.
Hey, Danielle Prickles, how you doing, you queer faggot? You gonna throw your arms around so we can stick that microphone up your big ass, or have Patty come and stick his dick up here? Well, he doesn't have a dick anyway.
This guy's got real problems, as you can tell.
Neither do you. You don't even have a set of balls. How you like our new Supreme Court justice, and we're gonna take over the House, the Senate, and the presidency all over again, and then you people are in real trouble. Maybe the Supreme Court, maybe Amy Comey Barrett will take and with Bill Barr and Durham and a few other people, and get you people on Free Speech TV and lock yous all up. I bet you wouldn't play this on your freaking comedy show. So remember,
I don't know, Guy. If this guy was my kid's teacher, I wouldn't mind.
if I ever see you, I'm going to stick that microphone that stand right up your ass, and you love every minute of it, you little faggot. Go back to Argentina.
Okay, so guys, that's what we're fighting. There's millions of those guys around. Okay, there's millions of those people around. That is what we are fighting. And you know, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Big thank you to Jeff Meyerson. Jeff is new member number 1 today at joinpacman.com. Also want to say a big thank you to Matthew Ackerman. Matthew Ackerman is new member number 2 at joinpacman.com. And Anastasia is a new patron. And it all counts, guys. See here, website members and patrons. So Anastasia is supporter number 3 today. We are very strongly looking for 50. And because it's the rare nighttime stream, if I'm here, we might as well do it right. I will open up phone lines if we get to 50. Maybe even during the rally. I don't know that we need to see the full rally. We'll get a sense of Trump's hue and saturation today, and his level of slur and that type of thing. And then we will continue with the evening. All right. What else did I have for you guys? Oh, and speaking of membership, did you guys see what Amy Covid Barrett had written on her stupid notepad? It actually wasn't so stupid. It actually turned out that she was looking at whether the special we're offering is even constitutional. She was actually, and you know, she is in the, what's it called? The People of Praise, that weird cult that she's part of. The membership is legal in People of Praise, but she's approaching this from a constitutional originalist standpoint. And she is going to very powerfully look into whether these discounts are or aren't constitutional. But until she does that, take advantage of it. You know, take advantage of it before they outlaw this stuff, because if they do, we're all going to suffer. We're all going to suffer, and that'll be really, really ugly. All right. Other super chats coming in. William says, David, love the show and the critical thinking series. Do you think various rants on social media could turn into probable cause and Fourth Amendment issues? I don't know. I'm not sure. I would need a little more information about that. Speaking of social media, though, one thing just to show you from earlier, I don't know if you guys saw this. As you know, this is Kayleigh McEnany, and she is Donald Trump's press secretary. She appeared on TV today as a Trump 2020 senior advisor. Wait a second. This is a White House staffer and a campaign staffer? That doesn't make sense. When they were asked about this, they said, oh, she appeared on Fox as a private person. So she is the press secretary. She's identified as a campaign staffer. And they're like, don't worry, this appearance was just Kayleigh speaking as an individual. These people are just disgusting. These people are just absolutely disgusting. A big thank you to Matthew Williams. Matthew is new member number 4 today at joinpacman.com. Chris Strom says Philadelphia is just going absolutely insane. Thanks to right now, what's going on is not a protest. I'm all for peaceful protests. I don't see color. I'm not sure what's going on in Philadelphia. Shasha thanking me for the coverage. Heroes Have Fur says, hi, David. Question from my 8-year-old son, Jonah, who's watching. He wants to know how you know so much about elections. I don't know the answer to that. I guess just doing this show for more than a decade and you just pick up a little bit of information at a time. And then hopefully you remember most of it, I guess is what I would say, Jonah. But that's a great question. The fact that you're asking that question puts you in you're really a candidate for upper management. Payne Hoover says, hey, David, keep up the good work. Could you tell Zach to eat his vegetables? Yeah, vegetables are great. I highly recommend. Broccolini is high on my list. Love broccolini. I would say mushrooms, but mushrooms actually a fungus. I know that not so much YouTube. Twitch would destroy me if I called mushrooms a vegetable. I can see it. It would probably end my Twitch channel. But mushrooms, a fungus. Corey Woodrow says, Taco Supreme Court Justice Amy Boney Carrot is the most legitimate public servant since Mayor McCheese. Well said. Well said. Super Guy says Trump can only steal the election if it's super close. Vote. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. It is the hourly investigation as to whether I am reading Twitch chat. I am. Wait a second. Are there people in the chat who actually think mushrooms are a vegetable? Guys, you've got to read The Omnivore's Dilemma by Michael Pollan. You need to be disabused of the false notion that a mushroom is a vegetable. It's not. It's really not. Jorah Monathan says, if voting is for suckers, call me Mr. Lollipop. Voted today. You rock, DP. Yeah, feel free to check in via Super Chat. Let me know if you voted, where you voted, and how you voted. And maybe even if you have the characters, whether anything crazy was going on. Big thank you to Mino DeMille for the Twitch sub, as well as Finest One Gaming. Okay, it looks like people want the phone lines open. If we get to 50 members, we're opening them up. I want to say big thank you to Kaylin Healy, who is new member number 5. Brandon Kurtz is number 6. Sandy Williams is number 7. Marcus Webster, number 8, and Philip Vaughn is new member number 9. The deal I made, and it's a deal with the devil. It's really a deal with you guys, but we'll start with the rally. But if we do get to 50 members, I'll just take some phone calls and see what's on people's minds. We've seen a lot of these rallies. We'll get a flavor for it probably in the first 15 seconds, but in the first 15 minutes for sure. And on that note, Jonathan Markham is new member number 10, and Jack Mills is new member number 11. Very good. Okay, let's see what else is on people's minds, and I know that it is a lot. Hold on, I don't want to miss anybody. Valerie King says he has no campaign money, so he's just rallying. There's no middle ground. Voters going to these COVID fairs, does he even want to win? Great question. Hot Mustard Gas says, did you see if you could interview Talia Lavin, who wrote Culture Warlords, a Jewish woman getting inside white nationalist groups? Yeah, we reached out to her today. Hot Mustard Gas asked for me to interview Talia Lavin on a recent stream. I sent that request to producer Pat. Producer Pat reached out to Talia today, and I hope we'll have her on the show soon. I listen to you guys. Phoenix says, do you think Trump is having so many rallies because there will be no reason to have him after the election? He needs his flock to feed his ego. Yeah, there's actually a really good piece. Don't remember if it was Vanity Fair or The Atlantic about how these are essentially ego stroking fests, that the people who are here are already Trump diehards. I mean, listen, if you're willing to risk COVID to go see this guy talk and say the same thing he always says, you're already voting for him. And I think it is all ego. Oliver says, if Biden wins November 3rd, do you think Mitch McConnell will end the Senate recess early to gear into Trump rampage overdrive? No, I mean, it's scheduled to end on November 9th. So I don't think we're going to see it end early. But by the way, I don't know how many people saw my tweet earlier. Saw my tweet earlier today. Mitch McConnell got Amy Coney Barrett confirmed in direct opposition to his stated principles from 2016, and then immediately adjourned the Senate, guaranteeing no coronavirus stimulus before the election. Guy's disgusting. He has a challenger. He does. Okay, We have just moments left until we hear the sweet rantings of Trump. So let me see if I can get caught up on new members and get an updated number for you. John Donahue is number 12 today. Alex Zahn is number 13. Zachary Bell is number 14. Ryan Deegan, number 15. Kai Olson is number 16. JT Kordasic is number 17. Justin Belandi is number 18. Claudia is number 19. And Michael Gutzmer is new member number 20. And remember, phones open at 50, even if the rally is still going on. Let's see if that stupid country music song is playing yet.
Every American heart.
Yep, it is. It is. No question whatsoever. Thanks to Super Clove for the sub on Twitch with the message, thanks for everything you do, David. Fatty McBlunts. Oh, wait, no, that's Fatty McBlunts Jr., actually. It's Fatty's. No, it is Fatty McBlunts. Okay. Fatty McBlunts has subscribed with Prime. And Party 1999 has subscribed with the message, person, woman, man, camera, TV. An excellent message. An excellent message. Theo Hall asks, if Biden wins, will you keep live streaming? I hope so. It's often the highlight of my day. Unfortunately, guys, my career as a streamer ends the day Donald Trump leaves. That's very, very sad for some people, but it's good news for others. I'm kidding. No, we are going to continue streaming various elements of government, even after, whenever, no matter what happens. That's for sure. Okay. Let's see. We are really down to our last moments before Trump starts here, so I'm just going to keep going. Rudy Gobert. Hold on. Isn't Rudy Gobert a Celtics player? Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is new member number 21, and Laz Dazara is new member number 22. We will hear the genius of Trump very soon. Let's see what's happening. I'd love to hear him explain why he is a Republican and he's in Nebraska with 7 days to go. That would be a great thing to hear.
That's a lot of people. That's
Peepo. It's already weird.
That's incredible. I hope the fake news media is turning their cameras way, way back there. That's incredible.
That stupid
Hello,
line.
Omaha. And I have to also say, because a lot of people are here from Iowa. Hello, Iowa. Okay, wait a minute. Who's from Iowa? Raise, go. Who's from Omaha?
He should actually do what Dave Rubin once did. Cultural critic Dave Rubin, during a stand-up act, polled the audience on their sexual orientation, asking who's gay in the audience. Maybe Trump, he's only half a step from that here.
Yeah. And we're going to win 4 more years in the great White House, that beautiful, beautiful White House. This is, yeah, look at this. I can't believe this. 29,000 people. Can you believe it?
Wait. Is he saying there's 29,000 people there? There's no way, right?
We have to win both Nebraskas. You know that, right?
It's got to be
You have two,
ridiculous.
you're cut. We're going to win both. This election is a choice between the
29,000.
Trump super recovery, which is what we're having, or a Biden depression. Sad to say. And some bad news just came out on Biden, but I won't tell you about that. You'll find that out tomorrow. Oh, look at you. Man, that's something. Biden has pledged the biggest tax hike in the history of our country. First man.
Taxes go
I've
down
ever
for the
seen
bottom
campaign
95%
on the
under
fact,
Biden.
I'm going to raise your taxes. What's going on? I gave working families record-setting tax cuts, and in my second term, I will cut middle class taxes very substantially more. And by the way, a lot of things are going on. You're seeing those poll numbers are going through the roof. I hate to tell. Where is the fake news? It's over there. Oh, that's a lot of camera. No, it's going up. They're very concerned. They're very, very concerned all over. Florida's looking great. Now, Nebraska, we know is looking great, okay?
Then why is he there?
I mean, in theory, I didn't really have to be here, but it's nice to be with your friends, too.
And there it is.
With your vote, we will continue to bring back our jobs, support our police, defend our Second Amendment, which is under siege, secure our borders, maintain American energy independence, expand school choice, and ensure more products are proudly stamped with the phrase, that beautiful phrase, made in the USA, right?
Not like his own campaign gear.
Record prosperity, epic job growth, and a safe vaccine that eradicates the virus and quickly ends the pandemic. And we're making that final turn. They don't want to hear it. We're making that turn. You know that, right? We're going to have the vaccine anyway, with or without it. We're making the turn.
70 more
Normal
people
life
died during the rally.
will fully resume. That's all we want. We want normal life. Normal life. Go back 7 months. We'll take normal life. Greatest economy we ever had. We want normal life. And next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. That's where we're heading. Super V. Joe Biden doesn't even respect you enough to campaign. He never came here, right? Did he come here? Oh. All right, so that's the end of that. I'll see you guys. I don't have to. Moments ago, we learned about the other reason Joe Biden has been hiding in his basement. In a national television interview, do you want me to tell you the rest?
Oh, no. Is he going to do it?
The Biden family's business partner revealed shocking, disturbing, and explosive information about Joe Biden's corrupt and illicit foreign business dealings.
Story's
while
not
he was
landing.
Vice President. The business partner made clear that Biden's denial of involvement in his son's corrupt business dealings was a blatant lie with proof. He stated with firsthand knowledge that Vice President Biden was directly and personally involved in establishing corrupt business dealings with China and getting money for it. This all happened at the same time as Biden was letting China steal American jobs and plunder American wealth. You saw that for 8 years. If Biden wins, China wins, and China will own the USA. If Biden wins, he will.
Biden wins, the world wins.
Bad things. By the way, he's not a good guy. Just
Where are the masks, by the way? Lock him up. This is the Law and Order crowd chanting to lock people up with no due process or even having been accused of a crime.
Would rather be than a Trump rally on about a 10-degree evening. 10 degrees. It's cold out here, but that's okay. You know, we just left Wisconsin. It was cold. And we left Michigan. It was cold and raining. And I said, I won't put on a hat because I'm going to show you how tough we are. That was a tough one.
What a tough guy, huh?
It was pouring and it was freezing. And
Didn't wear a hat.
This right here, I hate to tell you. Well, it's a little later. It's an honor to be with you, I have to say. When we win, you win, Nebraska wins, and all of America wins, and that's the way we want it.
Where did Trump get gloves so small?
Joe
Must be a
Biden
kid's
spent
clothing
the last
store.
47 years, think of it, 47 years, outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless, foreign, ridiculous wars.
Now Republicans claim to be against wars. Isn't that so funny?
In 2016, Nebraska voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected an outsider as president who finally put America first. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. If I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and I fought harder for you than any president who's ever held this wonderful, beautiful office. That I can tell you. This election is a matter of economic survival for Omaha and for communities all across our country. Joe Biden's agenda, and I'm not sure it's Joe Biden's agenda, let's face it. It's not his agenda. It sounds nice, Biden's agenda. The guy's shot.
Biden's agenda.
He's so gone.
He's not Biden's agenda.
Took him away. I was in Pennsylvania with these tremendous, crowds like this and tremendous rallies, and he had the lid on, right? You know the lid, like from a garbage can. They call it the lid. And they saw what was happening, because I went to 3 of them. I did 3 of them yesterday in Pennsylvania. So he went from Delaware to the closest point where Pennsylvania hits Delaware, which was about 5 minutes away from his basement. And he made a speech. Just before that, he called me George. He said, George, I think he was talking about George Bush. And his wife was sitting next to him, and you could see she was not happy. But it's hard to correct him, you know, the camera's on. But he called me George, and then he did the little speech, and it wasn't good. They sort of just moved him out. They took him away. His own people brushed him off. They took him off stage. This is not what you can have. You know, we have the greatest country in the world. We have more potential than any country in the world. We can't play games. We can't play games. So the Democrats, let's say the Democrats, the radical left Democrats, they have an extreme agenda. He's just a vehicle. He'll be there for about 4 weeks or so, and then you'll have Kamala. That will not be the first woman president. You're going to have a woman president, maybe soon, but you're not going to have Kamala. Can't be Kamala. She's further left by far than crazy Bernie. You know, Bernie is like a conservative compared to her. But Biden's extreme agenda includes a radical vision to destroy suburbs across our nation. How are your suburbs doing? Don't ask. Are they good? They won't be good for long if they get it. And to completely dismantle law enforcement and cripple police departments nationwide. You know what's going on. You see it better than anybody. You don't have to take my word for it. Biden's plan to destroy suburbs and police. Just take a look. Roll the tape. We do this for you on this freezing cold night.
The suburbs today are not the suburbs of half a century ago. The suburbs are far more diverse than the cities, but they're being targeted. Being targeted for what? Federalized, centralized government control by the left.
Democrats want to abolish the suburbs. They are too clean and nice, and therefore, by definition, they are racist. The Biden campaign has highly specific plans on how to do this. It's called Affirmatively Furthering Fair Housing. It's a HUD regulation. It was written during the Obama administration. Biden's advisors plan to enforce it. Towns will be ordered to abolish zoning for single-family housing because single-family homes, needless to say, are racist. Low-income, federally subsidized apartments will go up in the suburbs.
We'll also build 1.5 million new energy-efficient homes and public housing units.
Thankfully, Trump repealed this rule back in July. But now the left is backing an even more radical plan. It was a bill put forward by Senator Cory Booker to push low-income housing developments.
Sorry, had a tech issue. Did I miss the video?
This would be a federal takeover of local zoning laws, in essence. And Biden, he fully supports it.
The prior administration piled up more than 600 major new regulations, a cruel and punishing regulatory.
Look at the look on Trump's face while this plays.
Average American, an additional $2,300 per year. Think of that. The average American, $2,300 regulation. hitting low-income Americans by...
We're actually getting a look at the look Trump probably has on his face when he's sitting at the White House just watching Fox News and stuff when he comes on.
$100 every single year.
I've had the luxury of enjoying the benefit of the
He just loves seeing himself on TV.
tax
Yeah,
cuts allowed me to grow my businesses.
I believe that if you take into account
he seems titillated.
Trump tax cut, you take into account the drop in unemployment, and particularly unemployment for African Americans, the lowest it's ever been in history.
How's the economy right now? We're loving it.
Kennedy credits the Trump tax cuts and deregulation for her company's growth.
It's the first time in 10 years that it's booming again.
The tax cuts that were imposed did wonders for the middle class.
I will cut taxes even further for hardworking moms and dads. I will not raise taxes. I will cut them.
First thing, how delusional and narcissistic is to play videos of yourself at your own rallies?
Do you believe there is systemic racism in law enforcement?
Absolutely.
I've been a police officer for nearly 32 years. Joe Biden does not have the backs of police officers.
Joe Biden's staffers, they gave money to a fund to help bail out accused criminals.
Joe Biden's silence is encouraging the rioters.
Kamala Harris was working to help the instigators, the criminals, get out of jail.
If Joe Biden's elected, it's just going to continue.
Everyone beware, because they're not going to stop.
The only person who's defended the police is Trump.
What a stupid rally.
Support from police my whole career up until this year.
Trump really liked that one, huh?
Reduce the responsibilities assigned to the police and redirect some of the funding for police. Can we agree that we can redirect some of the funding?
Yes, absolutely.
In Joe Biden's America, we'll all be in danger. If you support the police and you want to be safe in your home and you want your children safe, support Donald Trump.
What the hell is going on?
Thank you very much. Well, that's pretty effective. You know what that costs to bring to you tonight?
It's weird to show that to people already at the rally, right? Like, that's a strange thing. These people are already voting for him. They're, he could shoot people and they'd vote for him.
Thank you very much. Pretty effective, right? You see it. It saves me a lot of words. I can sit here, watch. I say, see? Nah, he's not the right guy. He's not the right guy. He's not right for this country. He's not the guy for this country. This election is a choice between the American dream, which is what we want, and a socialist nightmare, which is where you would head if you ever did that, which I don't believe you'll do. It's a choice between a Trump boom and a Biden lockdown. He wants to lock it all down. No, we close it up. We understand the disease. It's a terrible thing. Should never have been allowed to come here from China. Should never have been allowed. Joe Biden will delay the vaccine, postpone therapies, prolong the pandemic, shutter your schools, right? Shutter your schools, destroy your small businesses, and shut down our country. We're not doing that. Look. We are setting records, 11.4 million people. It's all opened up. We understand it, and we are doing a job. We are literally setting records.
Are things open or closed? Because yesterday he was saying everybody needs to open. Now he's saying it is open. Biden will close.
Look at how you're doing in Nebraska. Look at how you're doing in Nebraska. Biden even wants to lock down young and healthy Americans, yet for those under the age of 50, I hate to say this, you're under the age of 50. How many are under the age of 50? Pretty young. Well, I have good news for you. 99.99, okay? You know what that means? That means you're in good shape. That's
yesterday it was 0.98.
But you notice the fake news now, right? All they talk about is COVID, COVID, COVID. COVID, COVID, and we've made such progress. It's incredible. Excuse me, I'm here. I'm here. Right? I mean, I wasn't exactly feeling great. It's been a long time. I wasn't exactly feeling great, and I met with great doctors. One thing, when you're president, you got plenty of doctors. We have one of them here tonight, I think, right? We have our great White House doctors traveling. Sean, he's become very famous. Where's Sean?
Guy's a doofus.
Oh, is that Sean? Look at Sean. Look at him. Wow. You know, he's got a big ego. He loves it when I mention his name. No, he's a great doctor, and they were great doctors. From Johns
He'll be out if
Hopkins
Biden
and
wins, for sure.
Walter Reed and everything else. And what we know today is like so different than what we knew 6 months ago. Incredible.
Right.
The progress they've
Now
made,
we're sure
and
Trump
with the
failed.
vaccines which are coming
We only suspected it
immediately,
6 months ago.
Even without, we're turning that corner. You know, at some point, we're turning that corner, and it's been pretty amazing. Florida had a rough time. Boom, it's back. It's all the way down. Texas, all the way down. Arizona, great governors, all the way down. Biden's cruel and senseless lockdowns would cause countless deaths from suicide, drug overdose, and delayed medical care, alcohol. I mean, so many different problems. Remember, I'd say the cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. That's what you have. When I banned travel from China, remember he said, oh, we should have done it sooner, except when I banned it for 2.5 months, he said, he shouldn't do that. He's xenophobic, right? And now he says, oh, I should have done it earlier. And he had a thing called the swine flu. It was a disaster.
Yeah, Biden had it.
Much less lethal. It was a disaster. He was a disaster. He's still a disaster, actually. If we listened to Joe, countless more people would have died. They were anticipating it could.
This girl has moments where she seems to think that this may have been a stupid idea, and Trump doesn't know what he's talking about.
One is too many as far as I'm concerned. One is too many. This shouldn't have happened. One is too many. But it could have been 2.2. It could have been more than that. Biden was willing to sacrifice your lives on the altar of open borders. He wants open borders. Without borders, you don't have a country. By the way, the wall is now over 400 miles long.
Now it's over 400.
And we're building 10 miles a week, and it's very soon going to be finished. So we have the strongest southern border we've ever had. And we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally, and they have to come in through merit. Biden has no plan, no idea, no clue. He has no clue, that's for sure. And he just wants to lock up and throw away the keys, letting rioters and looters run wild. And you know, it's interesting. They call them peaceful protesters. They burn down your cities. They do things that nobody's seen before, all in radical left, Democrat-run cities and states, but cities, all of them.
Check out my video about that and the reality that cities are just run by Democrats.
No, we're coming in. The night before we came in, they gave up. They left. They took over a piece of Seattle. That wasn't going to last. Minneapolis, the same thing. We went into Minneapolis. We went in. You know, we have to be asked in theory by the state. We went into Minneapolis, and it all ended. It took about, what do you think, 25 minutes or so. It was just boom, right down the street. Now, you know, the Republican-run cities are doing very well. The Republican-run cities. And I hope you agree, because I know he's here, but you have a very good Republican governor. You do know that, right?
Really struggling here to speak.
Listen to that. Good. Hi, Pete. Good. Pete, I'm glad they did that. You know, I want to do that. Otherwise, I just wouldn't introduce you later. You know, keep it quiet. They like you, Pete. The Biden plan will crush you and crush your family. My plan will crush the virus, and you will see economic benefits like we've never seen in our country before. That's where we're headed. When the China plague arrived, we moved heaven and earth to fight the disease. We airlifted medical supplies, pioneered groundbreaking therapies, reduced the fatality rate 85%. Think of that. And saved over 2 million lives. Our excess mortality rate has been 42% less than Europe. You hear about Europe?
He doesn't know what these numbers mean. By the way, I see a lot of people are getting disgusted with what's going on. I do have an offer open to open the phone lines at 50 members. Maybe we'll just make it 40 because maybe people can't tolerate another one of these, but I will open phone lines.
You know, First Lady had it. I had it. Barron had it. They said, sir, Barron has tested positive.
Melania said, sir, you gave me COVID.
He's okay now, sir. He threw it away. He just took that and threw it away, you know. They're young and they have strong immune systems, but I'd like to say the treatment didn't do anything for me. Doctor, do you hear that? Didn't do. I just threw it away like Barron. But you know what? I wasn't going to take my chance. I said, you have something, give it to me.
Wow, how
and
privileged.
It was effective because I woke up the next morning after being with these doctors. They wanted to touch every single part of your body, and I didn't like it. 12 of them. Each one was a specialist, right? Every single one, but they were great. No, they were great. But I woke up the next morning, and I'll tell you, I felt like...
Super relatable for the president to say he had too many doctors attending to him when we have millions of people with no health insurance.
And, you know, I don't have the luxury of staying in a basement. I'm president of the United States. I don't. I can't be staying. I really can't. You can't stay. I had a lot of meetings. I meet a lot of people. As president, I have that obligation. So we have basements in the White House. I could stay. We have beautiful bedrooms upstairs at the White House. I could stay for a year and a half. I can't do that. I have to be working for you. And if something happens, it happens. And I get, you know, they came in, they said, sir, you've tested positive. I said, tested positive for
what?
Then you go into one of the 27 different names. Corona, this, China virus, the China plague, the China plague. That's what I tested positive for. But it was amazing. And it was actually an experience. And until I came along, you were supposed to have lifetime immunity, right? I said, well, you know, I'm recovered. I feel great. And I'm immune. I could jump right into this road. I could kiss every man and woman. Every man and woman. But because it was me, the press said, no, it's not for a lifetime. It's only for 4 months. The immunity is only now for 4 months.
Nobody's talked about lifetime for
months. It was going to be for a lifetime. Now it's 4 months. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's one of those things. But I guarantee you this. On November 4th, you won't be hearing as much about this. It's going to be, right now, it's COVID, 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 no matter what happens. COVID, COVID. And on November 4th, we'll probably try and find some information about it. No,
great place for a rally, guys.
We're rounding that beautiful turn, and it's going to be very good. The vaccines are going to make it go away a lot faster, and they're going to be great. The greatest companies of their kind in the world are doing it. Really good. Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, they really are great. Pfizer. Thanks to our relentless efforts, 97% of all current emergency room visits are for something other than the virus. Think of that, 97%. We're in great shape.
That's a meaningless,
and in the one area,
stupid statistic.
Midwest, the little areas in the Midwest, certain areas that are...
Trump's like, there are so many different medical conditions that lead to people going to the emergency room.
2 weeks, they're figuring they'll go down, just like they did in Florida, Texas, Arizona, and so many others. We're on track to deliver 100 million doses of a safe vaccine and a great vaccine, and that's all set. We're all set logistically. Our military is going to deliver it. It'll be done very quickly. We will vanquish the vaccine, and we will get rid of this whole thing.
Good super chat, John.
It'll be you watch. It's going to happen very quickly, and we're going to have our country back, and the whole world is going to be coming back. This was a terrible, terrible thing that happened. Terrible thing that happened. Terrible thing that happened. Joe Biden has made a corrupt bargain in exchange for his party's nomination. He has handed control of his party over to the rage-filled socialists, Marxists, and left-wing extremists.
Every time he says this, it's so
stupid. Put another name in there, starts with a C. Communists, yes. No, we got a couple of them too, unfortunately.
I would love the list of communists controlling Joe Biden's campaign.
We'll be running your government. It's not going to happen. By the way, just so you know, we are so far, you listen to the fakers back there. Look at them. You listen to the fake news. We are so far ahead. This is going to be bigger than 4 years ago. By the way, get out and vote. That's the only thing. I mean, I'm standing here freezing. I ask you one little favor, get the hell out and vote.
If someone sends me the clip of this, Alec, that you're talking about, I'd like to check it out.
At least you're down there with each other. I'm all
via
up
email.
Here and that wind is blowing up. This election day, you must stop the anti-American radicals. And really, I mean, that's what they are. They're radicals. We can solve these problems so quickly if the governments would just say, would you please come in, federal government? We stop it in a matter of minutes. It goes so fast. The radicals delivering Joe Biden, you have to do this. You have to deliver them a message, the far left, a thundering defeat at the ballot box on November 3rd.
Wow.
It's got to be a big one. We've got to win big, and we're going to win big. You know, I'm watching them, and they're getting, like 3 weeks ago, I don't know, they were doing these fake polls, and they felt very good, and then a week ago, they were feeling okay. They're not feeling so good right now. They're saying, these are not good numbers. Was that one of the greatest evenings ever 4 years ago?
What a great day.
The difference is, and I say this is easier, there's more, look at this crowd. I mean, we had big crowds. We never had crowds like this. Look at this crowd. 29,000. You have 29,000 people in Omaha. That's pretty good. And you're all on television. Say hello. You're on national television. See all the red lights? That means the cameras are going. That means those cameras are going. 29,000 people, they say. 29,000. Yeah. You know who spoke today? President Barack Hussein Obama.
Here we go with Hussein.
Boo. He had 12 people and 7 cars. Did you hear them? No, he draws flies. I've never seen.
Trump literally had a fly on him on Sunday's rally.
And he brought Bon Jovi along. You know what happened to Bon Jovi?
He bort.
They increased the crowd by 22 people.
B-O-R-T, bort.
And then Joe spoke, and that crowd left. And we have 29,000 people here, and we had a tremendous crowd in Michigan.
It's got to be 2,900 people, right? Or maybe 800 people. 29,000.
And they're trying to figure out, like, if Trump is getting these crowds, and if Biden's getting like 12 people, you know the circles. He fills in the circles. They got like 5 of them. And a lot of times they put reporters in there because they have no people. But today he tried to blame that on COVID also. He said, no, we don't seek large crowds because of the virus, right? They don't want the large crowd.
Yeah.
That's not the reason, okay? That's not the reason. It's a hell of an excuse.
Because of this, right?
We're thrilled to be joined by the man we were just talking about. He's a friend of mine. He loves his state. He loves his country. And he's a great governor, Pete Ricketts. Pete
Ricketts, dear God.
Great job. What a good guy. What a good man. How's your state doing, Pete? All right, good. How are we doing? By the way, we're going to be okay here, right? He says good.
Oh, we're going to do
Thank you
great.
very much, Pete. And his brother Todd, another one, really good. Now, there's only 2 people that are better, Joe and Marlene. Now, Todd is great, but they will both admit Joe and Marlene are better, right? And you're here.
Right.
Hi, Joe. I like the hat. Hi, Joe. You got to be proud of your boys. They're doing a great job. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great family. Here as well are Senators Deb Fischer, who's fantastic. She is my favorite senator from the state of Nebraska.
Right.
By far, she's fantastic. She is, I'll tell you what, she calls me, it doesn't stop. Between her and Joni Ernst from Iowa, who I think is here. Where's Joni? Joni. They call, sir, we need help with ethanol. Sir, we need help with corn. It's always, but you know what? That's what a great senator,
It's always sir, sir, sir.
Joni, thank you very much. And I heard you're doing very well. I just saw some very nice numbers. And Deb, you don't have to worry about numbers, right?
Right.
You don't have to worry about numbers. I'm with you all the time. Thank you both. And yeah, it looks very good in Iowa. Thank you very much. Good. And Representatives Jeff Fortenberry, a warrior. Where's Jeff?
Warrior.
Thank you, Jeff. Great guy. Don Bacon.
Don Bacon. Give me a break.
What's this? Wow. Well, I like him too, but I don't know if I like him that much. That's very good. I'll tell you, you better get me Omaha. Do you understand that? It's just, now I know. I wouldn't have asked her, but now I'm going to say, make sure we win this side too, right?
That's a bacon crowd if I've ever seen one.
Good. I'm very impressed. That's about as good as I've heard in a long time. And Adrian Smith. Adrian, great job. Great job. Great to have you here. It's a great group of people, and these are warriors. They fought with me a lot. They fought with me. We keep winning over there, but it's not easy, right? But it gets easier and easier all the time. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. For decades, our politicians spent trillions and trillions of dollars rebuilding foreign nations, fighting foreign wars, and defending foreign borders.
Just to reset, because a lot of people are asking, this is a rally in Omaha, Nebraska. This is Trump's third rally of the day. It started about, I don't know, it's actually close to 40 minutes ago, I think. And I have put out there that we can get away from the rally, and I will open up Discord phone lines. We just have a membership target, and we've dropped it to 40 just kind of casually because it seems people do want to get away from this. I'll even change it officially to 40 just so people see it. And then we can just mute, and we'll pay attention. And when Trump starts winding down and doing his rants, we'll go back to it. But I'd be glad to hear from some of you guys.
And it's a great thing. And they're home from Syria. They're home. I left some because we kept the oil, if you don't mind. There was some oil. And we captured it. We kept it. And coming home from Iraq, it's enough. It's enough. We want to have them all home. We have a lot of other countries, too. We're in many, many, many countries, most of which you never even heard of, right? You never even heard of. It's ridiculous.
Trump hasn't heard of them.
And by the way, making our military stronger by far than ever before. I ended the NAFTA nightmare and proudly signed the brand new USMCA, which is turning out to be phenomenal. It's a great
As we know, these crowds have no idea of the difference between the two or the significance of that.
Companies will not be leaving Nebraska and Iowa and all of our places. There's a very big disincentive for them to do that. When China targeted our farmers, I delivered $28 billion to our incredible farmers here in Nebraska and Iowa and all across the country. Don't forget to tell the people of Iowa that, please. $28 billion. I said to Secretary Sonny Perdue of Agriculture, you know, Sonny.
Agriculture.
I said, Sonny, how much were the farmers targeted? And he said, 12 billion, sir, and 16 billion, 2 years, 12 and 16. I said, 28, good. So I tariffed 28 billion, took it from China, and distributed it to our farmers. Nobody else is going to do that.
Socialism, which is bad, but he's doing
Some
it.
people say our farmers do better now than they did when they actually had a farm. But we did. We had the biggest order of corn 2 weeks ago in the history of our country.
Trump's got corn coming out the wazoo at this point.
And the biggest beef order, right? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Joe Biden's running mate, the most liberal member of the U.S. Senate. You know who that is, right? Sponsors the insane Green New Deal. $100 trillion. You, too, can have no windows in your buildings.
And no toilet
Which would
flushing.
wipe out the ethanol industry, Joni. It would totally wipe out that industry.
He hasn't done the toilet flushing rant for a little while. I would love to hear it again.
Devastating Nebraska and devastating Iowa. As president, I will always defend ethanol, okay? All right? Does Nebraska like ethanol too, by the way? Okay, good. I need that little assurance. I need that little bit of assurance. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, our southern border, largely because of the wall. My opponent's insane immigration plan would completely eliminate U.S. borders. Open borders they want to have. Let's have open borders so everyone can just pour in like they used to. He would make every community into a...
By the way, just because this is pointless drivel, I was reading the book Good Economics for Hard Times today, and one of the really interesting things about going back to 1980, there's been a ton of experiment or studies done of do wages really go down when a bunch of immigrants come in? Because this is a talking point from the right. Immigrants come in, they're willing to work for less, wages go down. Doesn't happen though. Doesn't actually happen. And one of the reasons is you would think, if you believe regular supply demand economics, if there's more supply, all of a sudden, you can charge you can charge a lower price. You can pay a lower price. There's a bunch more supply. You're going to pay less. But all of the immigrants that come in, they increase demand because not only do they work jobs, they buy stuff. They go to the grocery store. They want to compete for houses. They want to compete for cars. You understand. And very interesting chapter in the book about it.
Baghdadi, they were looking for him for a long time. And we took out the world's top terrorist. Soleimani is dead.
By the way, people in the chat saying, imagine reading a book and thinking you know about economics. I do have a bachelor's and master's degree in economics. It's not just that I read a book. The book reminded me of it. But, okay, have fun, guys.
And one point.
This is how anti-intellectualism works. David, you think you know something because you give me a break, guys. Come on.
150 billion or 1.8 billion in cash. I think I'm more impressed with the cash. You ever hear everything like that? That's what we gave to Iran for nothing. We got nothing. I recognize the true capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
And I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Think of that.
I like it when he says Golan
for
Heights.
52 years, I got it done in 2 hours. And instead of never-ending wars in the Middle East, you see what's happening. Already 3 countries, and we have 5 lined up, and we're going to have another. It's an easy one. It's a lot easier.
Earlier today, when Trump was flying out, he said he had 10 peace deals lined up in the Middle East.
Wrong people. They had the wrong concepts. But, I got nominated for 3 Nobel Peace Prizes.
Here we go. Guys, we do have 1 member left until we open the phones.
Different regions. Like Kosovo and Serbia, we're doing deals, trade deals. Just normally we're doing trade deals. I said, wait a minute, aren't they always fighting each other? Yeah. Aren't they always killing each other? Yeah. For many decades, sir, how did you know? I said, I know, they're killing you. They fight each other all the time. Tell them we're not going to do any business with them. They want our business, right? And we're not going to do any business unless we make a deal where they stop killing each other. And you know what? It took about 20 minutes. They've been fighting for 40 years. I think they've been fighting for 400 years, you want to know the truth. But they've been fighting for a long time. They want to make a deal. All of a sudden, 2 months ago, they're in the Oval Office, hugging the 2 prime ministers, hugging and kissing and thanking. That was easy, Joe.
Oh, my God.
That was easy. It just makes sense. I just said, hey, why don't we get them together? I mean, we're going to do these 2 deals. Tell them to stop fighting, and we save a lot of lives. That's a good thing. But we're forging peace in the Middle East without blood all over the sand, and we're not spending money. You're doing it either. It's something very nice. It's we're pulling out. A vote for Republicans is a vote for the American dream. It's a vote for acknowledgement that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Is that nice?
Bit of a misunderstanding about that history, I'd say.
So in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing
Is he rapping already?
of the world.
And
we will end our reliance on China, and that's already begun, largely already begun.
In conclusion.
We will hire more police,
like a 7th grade essay.
Penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary
Did he
cities.
say sauce for law enforcement?
We will defend religious liberty, free speech, the right to life, and the right to keep and bear arms. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. And that's what we have now with what we have. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency that's bigger than health care. You watch, already signed, kicks in on January 1st.
How convenient.
Lower drug prices even more. We signed favored nations. That means we're going to get the lowest price anywhere in the world. Right now, we're by far the highest. And we will always
didn't say on what.
patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. And
That's NARS, G-N-A-R-S, silent G.
Anywhere in the world again. It was a mess 3.5 years ago. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our school.
Oh, dear God.
We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the
This is going on. He's talking about
our
flags.
national motto, in God we trust. For years you had a president who apologized to America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Nebraska and Iowa.
All right.
So get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, and get your coworkers, get your boss, and say, boss, get out of here, boss. Get out and vote. You got to vote. The red wave is coming, the great red wave. Now we're doing very well. Those early ballots, you know, the whole ballot hoax, you see what's going on. There's so many bad things happening, but we're doing very well. You know, we're supposed to be a little behind, and then we're a little bit above, right? But that wave comes, and now we go to the front of everything. I think we're going to win everything. We didn't come this far and fight this hard to surrender our country back to the corrupt Washington swamp. So on November 3rd, we must finish the job that we started. We have done a job like nobody. There has been no administration, nobody, and it's us all together. There has been no administration has done in the first 3.5 years what this administration has done. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. From Norfolk to Hastings, from Grand Island to Lincoln, and from Scotts Bluff to right here in Omaha, we inherit the legacy of Nebraska patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears for this beloved nation. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the ocean, settled a continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up the great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come.
It's so stupid. Oh, my God. Is he going to do his Make America Safe Again thing now?
Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working, we are going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning.
Oh, my God.
We are one movement, one
Cringe.
people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Nebraska and Iowa,
Right.
we have made America powerful again. We have made America wealthy again.
What?
We have made America strong again.
Huh?
We have made America proud again.
That's not true.
We have made America safe again.
I thought it was chaos.
And we will make America great again. Thank you, Nebraska. Thank you, Iowa. Thank you both. Thank you. Get out and vote.
All right. And then I'm assuming we will see Donald Trump. There it is, doing the stupid dance like he's moving a hose back and forth in front of him. All right, guys, we did it. I said 40 new members and we would open the phone lines so you can let's hear from some people. Go to davidpakman.com/Discord and get into the waiting lobby. Please check out the guide for how to call in. It is literally called Call In Guide. Our great moderation team put it together. Make sure you aren't muted, all of that stuff. Get into the waiting lobby. Change your nickname to location:*name. So, for example, I am going to go first today because I have just a great, great person here waiting. I am going to go directly to Omaha Alley in Omaha, because that's where this is. So we're going to go right to Alley. Oh boy, Allie's listening on a delay there. Allie in Omaha, hello. Please mute the stream and talk to me on Discord.
Get into the waiting lobby. Change your nickname to location.
Hey, Allie in Omaha. Allie in Omaha, you're live. Dear God.
Hello?
Is this Allie in Omaha?
Yes, this is Allie in Omaha. How are you doing?
Good. Tell me, what was going on there? You were listening on the stream, I'm guessing, and you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
Hello?
So hello?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. What's going on in Omaha? The president is there right now.
Yeah, so I want to call in. I actually used to work on political campaigns all across Nebraska, and particularly in Omaha for about 5 years. And particularly, I think it's so hard in Nebraska. People in Nebraska are so conditioned to believe that Republicans are better at business, that they bring jobs, but there's absolutely, I mean, the evidence of that is staring them right in the face that that's a lie, where they're celebrating Pete Ricketts. His own company, TD Ameritrade, moved their headquarters from Omaha to Texas just a few years ago. Just yesterday, they announced that they're cutting 1,000 jobs, primarily in Omaha. Republicans have overseen the leaving of ConAgra. The Ricketts family purchased a small pie-making business in rural Nebraska and then shut it down. So really, we kind of think of Pete Ricketts as our own mini Trump, someone who's terrible at business, but somehow no one notices.
Right. Excellent. All right. Well, good to know that. Did you have a question today or more of just a comment?
No, more just a comment. I mean, I think it's just interesting seeing that President Trump is here in Nebraska, because in CD2, he only can possibly win, one vote that's up for grabs, because we split our electoral votes. So it's really interesting that he's here. I guess.
Yeah, the fact that he's there at all is interesting to me. That a Republican 7 days out is in Nebraska. It's I'm no expert, but it sounds odd.
It is odd. The only times that we've really had presidential candidates visit is during the time when the Democratic Party did caucuses instead of primaries.
Right.
They were able to move the date up, so we had Democrats visiting. But other than that, it has really not been somewhere that people visited at all. I'm guessing they're also worried about Don Bacon. He's in a very competitive election. He almost lost to Kara Eastman last year. So I think they're also trying to shore that up.
Yeah, a lot going on there, and certainly the crowd very, very antsy for Bacon earlier in the rally. Allie, let's hope for the best in Omaha.
Yeah.
I appreciate the call.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, there we go. Allie from Omaha. Let's go next to, there's just so many people that want to get in. Let's stay in that region of the country. Let's go to Casey in Nebraska. Casey in Nebraska, what's going on? Casey in Oklahoma City. Casey in Oklahoma City, what's going on? Casey in Oklahoma City, you're on. Please unmute. Casey in Oklahoma City, last opportunity to talk to me. And Casey in Oklahoma City is gone. Gone. Let's go to, where else are we going to go? What about... Oh, this seems interesting. Let's go to Alex from Bolivia. Alex calling from Bolivia. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Not much. Just witnessing comedy, actually.
Oh yeah, you're at a comedy club, or you mean the rally?
It's yeah, the rally.
Yeah.
Now it's just interesting how people still follow nut jobs today.
Yes, it is. It's not. It's
very
not
interesting.
uniquely American, but Americans do lead in it, I would say.
Yeah, it seems to be because I mean it is the majority, and it does. And no offense to anybody that is Republican in this chat, if there is anybody. But yeah, it's. I mean, here even in Bolivia, we have socialism that's striking, but it's more like a dictatorship, and people are.
Well, now
afraid
I
of
want to correct
socialism
one thing you
in the
said. It's not
States.
a majority in the. Remember, more people voted for Hillary, and in all likelihood, Biden will also win the popular vote. So it's not a majority.
Right. I mean, right, not a majority in people, but that's where the flaw falls in, I guess. That
Yes,
it
electoral
relies on an
vote
electoral
majority. Yeah.
college.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, no, and it's funny how it's easy to put fear of, for example, socialism, when at least in most of South America, socialism is more of a dictatorship than it is an actual socialistic um, economy. Because in the end, socialism is an economy; it's not a political function.
Well, that there's actually it's not quite so clear. That's actually a much bigger academic topic. Socialism as a political system, socialism as an economic arrangement, the culture of socialism. I mean, I think there's a lot more to that. I don't think it's quite so simple.
Right. No, and I agree, to that. But just the fear that people in the states have to that, and they just relate it to Venezuela or to um, Brazil or to here Bolivia, and not to other to first world countries such as I don't know Sweden or um, what's called Denmark or Finland or places that have they're socialists, but they're not putting that dictator agenda behind it.
All right, Alex in Bolivia. Muchísimas gracias, amigo.
No, that's the thing.
Okay, there we go. Guys, I know that on Discord, my mic sucks. There's a very specific set of facts that would explain why, which are boring, but I'm hoping to have an additional. The problem is this mic, when I use it on Discord, is a disaster. But I'm going to get a second mic to use on Discord, and I think it'll solve a lot of these problems. All right. Let's go next to Liz in Indiana. Liz, what part of Indiana are you calling in from today?
Northeast Indiana.
All right, Northeast. You know, I've been up in that area. I'm going to name some places. You tell me if they ring a bell. Goshen, Shipshawana, and LaGrange.
LaGrange was, I think, about 10 miles from my hometown.
Okay.
I currently live near like Fort Wayne.
Okay.
I've been to Indianapolis a little bit. I went to South Bend.
Got it.
It's a very lovely little town.
All right. Well, what's on your mind today? There was a lot of Amish when I was there. Amish and evangelicals was what I was seeing.
Yep. Amish are pretty cool, at least from my interactions with them. My dog is from an Amish breeder. Love my dog. So my question is a real softball.
Okay, good.
What is the average day of David Deepak Pacman? Like what's the average day?
So typically I will, I'll get up and do a little reading and then make breakfast. And then by about 8:30, I'm at my desk working on that day's show. And then I'm usually ready for filming by about 10:15, 10:30. We'll film until about noon, sometimes 12:15, sometimes 12:30. After that point, then it goes into business mode, handling the business of the show. And then about 3:30, I'll start working on the next day's show. And then sometimes there's a stream or not, but that's the general work day.
Okay. Yeah. You ever get into business mode when you're going to do business stuff? I've heard some people sort of described that like even though they work from like home, they sort of act like they're going to work even though they're not going anywhere. So like they put on like work shoes, they like, do some of that work stuff, and then once work is over and they're still at their house, they take their work shoes off.
Right.
It feels like they got home from work.
I do. I will. Now, the thing is, sometimes I will wear my Allbirds as work shoes and it will confuse everybody who sees me. But yes, I'm typically wearing a 3-piece suit during the business part of the day.
All right. Brilliant. Thank you, David.
Very good. All right. Thank you so much. There's Liz from Indiana. Very, very nice. Let's go next to, where do we want to go? Let's go to Sarah from Sioux City. Sarah from Sioux City.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi.
How are you?
I don't really have any questions, but I just wanted to say, during this whole, these past couple months, me and my dad, we've been relying on you for all our news, and I just want to thank you for everything you've been doing and, giving us, up to date news and all the facts, and you're not being, biased. You're just and you're telling it great. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you to say. Oh, I guess Sarah's gone. Sarah for Feel Good Call of the Year. There it is. Okay, let's try something else now. Let's go to Spencer from Cleveland. Spencer from Cleveland. What's going on?
Hey man, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good. I just had a couple of comments on the thing. First, no masks.
I know.
Not having that.
And Nebraska's numbers are spiking.
Secondly,
yeah.
Yeah. Secondly, both Nebraskas. I want to know what.
So, sorry, you're cutting in and out. You want to know what about Nebraska?
He said both Nebraskas. Where did he get that?
Oh, I think he means, some people thought he meant the Dakotas. I assume he's talking about the fact that Nebraska has some electoral votes that are for each, they're assigned at the district level. I assume that's what he meant.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
but maybe he thought he was in South Dakota. Who knows? And he was talking about the Dakotas. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, with him, it's everything and nothing at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, it's the weirdest thing ever, and it's very unsettling to, just watch it happen.
It is very much unsettling. I have a feeling next Tuesday will be a high anxiety day, but we will hopefully get to the better side of it eventually.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm voting election day, and I mean, I'm voting Biden.
All right. Very good. I appreciate hearing from you. Thank you very, very much. Let's go next to Solange from Miami, who tried to call in last time and there was some kind of issue and she was muted and it got crazy. Solange from Miami, are you able to redeem yourself today?
I hope so. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Solange.
Awesome. Okay, great. The reason I'm calling is I guess I want someone to make me feel better, because I felt for months, I was so certain that Biden was going to win. All the Trumpers that I knew had seemed to not 100% turn against him, but they realized he was doing a horrible job with COVID, the unemployment.
Solange, are you editing video as you talk to me? It sounds like you're editing video as you talk to me.
Maybe it's my YouTube. Is that better?
That is better, yeah.
Okay, sorry. So now it seems like they're all running home to daddy again. Like all of a sudden, it's like Trump signs popped up everywhere, all over Miami. All the people that I knew that were saying that DeSantis and Trump were doing a horrible job are all now saying the exact opposite. And I just feel like I don't think we're going to win anymore.
They're circling the wagons, is what they're doing.
I can't stay in this country. With
They're
this guy
circling
for
the
president.
wagons.
I can't stay.
Yeah, look, they're circling the wagons. It's what's going on, and they would rather deal with Trump than see a Democrat win. In the end, Susan Collins is disappointed, and Lisa Murkowski's saddened, but they're all going to do what they're all going to do, and we're just going to have to beat them, and either we do or we don't. But it was always going to be this way, Solange.
Do you think we will?
If you say bet right now, even odds, I say Biden wins. If you make me bet. Now, I still think Trump has a very strong shot at winning. But if you say even odds, just make a bet, I bet Biden wins.
Everyone, please go out and vote.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Florida will be a very powerful
state. Thanks for
state.
taking my call.
My pleasure. There is Solange from Miami. We are going to go next to Christian from Arizona. Christian from Arizona, what's going on?
Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's going on, Christian?
Not much. I actually just discovered you today, and it seems like all these other people have been watching for a while, and I've been missing out. But I appreciate you, first off, for just doing the stream, kind of doing what you're doing. But I wanted to ask you if you thought that things would be going differently, the same, or worse if somebody like Bernie Sanders or Pete Buttigieg were up here as the nominee at this point in the race. Would we be seeing the same type of thing that we're seeing right now, or do you think it would be vastly different?
I think that those types of questions cannot be answered definitively and can only serve to divide the left. I think all we know is Biden won the primary, not by a little, but by a lot. And he's ahead in the polling right now. That's really all we know. And, people will email me and they'll say Bernie would be doing better. People email me and they say, what's wrong with the Bernie people saying Bernie would be doing better? Bernie couldn't even beat Joe Biden. How's he going to beat Donald Trump? I don't think we gain really anything at this late stage in the game from what is really just speculation in the end. I mean, we just don't know.
Yeah, that's actually pretty fair to say. Like,
what I will say, though? Let me just say one thing.
At the end of the day, it isn't worth it.
Let me say one thing. The people who write to me and they say Tulsi would be winning if she had been the nominee, I think they're wrong. I think with Pete Buttigieg or Bernie Sanders, I don't know the answer. I don't think it's really knowable. I don't think Tulsi would have been crushing Trump right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I just wanted to ask you one more thing.
Sure.
How you feel about, the potential that he obviously doesn't win, and we go into that next phase of like the hidden side of politics that people don't typically know about, where it's like we're worried about the next phase of like him not deciding to leave. Does that worry you a lot, or you feel like he eventually will just concede and, typical politics like we have seen?
If Biden wins, Trump will go, and he will go thrashing and screaming, and I will love every minute of watching it.
I agree. That's fair.
All right. Thanks very much for the call. First day viewer even, and we were able to hear from him, which is very exciting. Let's just do a couple of others. How about we go to Amari from South Texas? Amari from South Texas, you are on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, hi, David. I've been watching you religiously for the past month or so.
Thank you.
I have two questions for you.
Sure.
What would you do if you saw Donald Trump, if you saw him on the street or whatever by himself? And how would you react? Like if you were close to him, would you ask for a picture? Would you tell him something? What would you do?
I have no idea. It's so unlikely that I have to admit I've not thought about what I would do. I don't think I would see him by himself, especially since he'll have Secret Service protection for the rest of his life. So I'd have to think about that, Amari.
Okay. All right. And my second question is, what would you tell, I live in the border, and there are certainly a lot of undocumented immigrants in here. And what would you tell someone who wants to get involved, but is not able to vote because of him or her being undocumented?
How to get involved in a campaign?
Yeah, just like the election-wise, since a lot of people are not able to vote themselves, even though
I would say probably phone banking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, David. It's been a pleasure. Very strong pleasure.
Thank you. The pleasure is very strong on this side of the microphone. I very much appreciate it. All right, let's go now down to, why don't we go to David from Richmond, Virginia? David from Richmond,
Hi,
Virginia,
David. Can you
you're
hear
on.
me?
Yes, I can.
So I know this probably isn't like there aren't many single issue space policy voters, but I'm wondering, has Biden really said anything about that?
Said anything about what?
Space policy.
Oh, I thought you said there isn't space for single issue. Oh, I misunderstood. No, I don't think I've really heard Biden say much about space policy, to be perfectly frank. People in the chat can correct me, but nothing is standing out to me. I don't think, I mean, Trump's been inserting this one-liner about going to NARS recently, and maybe that's enough to bring the space vote over to Trump. But no, I've not really heard very much from Biden on it.
Yeah. As far as what I think he should probably continue the Artemis program, because I don't think that's something Trump really had much input on.
We need a complete rethink. We need a paradigm shift on space policy, to be perfectly frank. We need to be looking at asteroid, what am I talking about here? Harnessing the resources of asteroids, asteroid mining. We need to be looking at a serious program to go back to the moon. We want to go to Mars. There's all sorts of different things we should be doing. We should be looking at what opportunities are there for geostationary orbital elements that could be doing different things. I want it all. I'm not so concerned about space weapons and space war at this time, though.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for taking the question.
All right. My pleasure. Thank you very much. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. So glad I was able to hear from a whole bunch of you. As always, you can join the Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord. Thank you so much. And we will hear from you again very soon, I am sure.